Welcome to Success Superstars, your place for inspiration and the blueprint of success for peak performers just like you. And my special guest today, Macey Hardin. Macey, welcome.
Hi.
Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Now, tell us a little bit about what you did and where you grew up before real estate.
So I grew up in a town called Seymour. It's right outside of Wichita Falls. It's a town of 2,500. Everybody is blue collar for the most part.
Right. So small town girl.
Absolutely.
You knew everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knew you.
They definitely knew me, yeah, as far as everybody knowing everything and everybody's business. Which turns out, you know, when you do get into a profession and own your own business, it does work out to your benefit.
Right, because you know everybody.
Exactly.
Now, what brought you to DFW, and then what brought you to real estate?
So my husband's job is what brought us here. Mm-hmm. And then I had always had a dream of having my own legacy. You know, I wanted to start my own business. I just didn't want to really start at 25 in a profession and end up at 65 in the exact same profession. There's nothing wrong with that. That just wasn't what I wanted for myself. And so I wanted to do my own thing. And so I said, I would like to get into real estate when we moved here. And my husband said, you know, I support you in whatever you want to do, but you know, that's challenging, right? There's a lot of realtors out there. And, you know, we're in a whole new area. You don't really have a whole lot of connections in this area. And I said, I know, but that's what I want to do. And so I took the courses and went from there.
Yeah. Now, he made a good point. There's like one real estate professional for every 65 households or something.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And right now there's more of us than there are listings.
Right.
So how have you distinguished yourself from, you know, all the others?
Right. So to me, it's all about reaching out to your inner circle. I mean, that's what they tell you, and that sounds so cliche, but and I didn't mean it in a salesy way whenever I did. I just kind of said, on social media, you know, I use that as my platform. I said, this is, you know, what I'm doing. I don't expect anyone to, you know, call and use me immediately, but I had to gain credibility by posting constantly and showing, you know, what I was up to, what I was doing. Even when I wasn't that busy in the beginning. I constantly went to classes and courses, and I would post about that, you know, just like I said, to gain some more credibility. So to me, that kind of set me apart from others, I guess, that weren't really doing anything and just kind of sitting by the phone waiting for a phone call.
Right. Did it ever get so hard that you wanted to quit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it still does. I mean, yesterday I wanted to quit. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, to me, though, the difference is, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, every job is hard, right? I mean, say you quit and go to another job. I mean, you're still going to have those days. I mean, you just have to press on and know that, you know, the harder you work, the better you do, the more money you make. I mean, it is what you want to make it. Mm-hmm.
And you learn from those experiences, right? You take those challenges that you have, like whatever you had yesterday. I'm
yes.
sure you've learned how to approach maybe something a different way, or
absolutely. So, and that's what I tell a lot of, I don't have like actual mentees, but what I do tell anybody that asks me that wants to get into the business, I tell them constantly, learn from the people that are mean to you. You know, learn from the contracts that fall through right at the closing table. You know, there is something to take away from every single experience. And even though they weren't great experiences, yeah, you definitely learn how to approach people or a situation differently.
Right. Now you went, you know, your first year to not doing a whole lot,
right,
to now phenomenal success. What was your breakthrough? What was that moment where you started doing, you know, 2-3 closings a month?
So honestly, to be very honest, what was the difference is, I mean, there was crickets for a solid, I think it was like 8 or 10 months. I mean, and when I mean crickets, it was like there's nobody returning phone calls.
Right.
There's nobody reaching out, you know, like I said. And so to me, what made that difference was, you know, you keep waking up, you keep that same routine, you don't give up, you wake up every single morning and you focus on the goal. The goal is, you know, small goals would be to get that listing, to get that buyer. And the long-term goals would be, you know, to make decent money. That was always my goal. It's not about money, it's about success, obviously. But yeah, just wake up every morning and focus on that same thing. And then what changed was having that first listing, you know, and like I said, gaining that credibility, you know, posting about it, you know, we've got multiple offers or whatever it is, and just keep constantly, you know, posting about that to where people see that. see that.
So somebody obviously gave you a chance,
Right.
or you earned it through, you earned that first listing, and that gave you the confidence.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the difference, is the confidence.
And that began you kind of said, well, now, hey, I can do this.
Right. Yeah. And from there, it just trickles. It just trickles in, and then it just starts flowing.
Now,
if you work towards it.
Yeah, when you work for it. Now,
Right.
for 8 months, you call it crickets. That had to be a really tough time.
It was.
And to continue, you had to have a big dream of this legacy when you turned 65 of having a different life for yourself to keep going through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was funny because I was planning a wedding. We were about to get married, and I just remember like how hard that was. They say the first year of marriage is hard. That the year before marriage was the hardest. I was trying to find other avenues to make income, because you have to pay the bills, you have to figure out, and again, we were planning a wedding. It was very difficult, but to me, it's like I said, and I don't mean to be redundant, but you just have to wake up every morning and don't get depressed about it. There were days that I had really low days, of course, but it's like you just focus. Like, nothing worth having comes easy. And again, I know that's a cliche statement, but if you keep focusing on that and you keep working towards it and have your small goals, that you work towards, and as long as you obtain them. One of my small goals every day was, either post a picture of what I'm learning at that time, or maybe reach out and say happy birthday to somebody. Those were little things that I could do at that time when I wasn't busy, to try to gain, that appearance, that, and that credibility. Yeah.
So great. Now as you look at the next couple years, what's the future look like?
So the future is, I also have another business of real estate, interior design, and not that I'm promoting that today or anything, but my focus is and goal is to merge these two together and form a whole kind of, company that offers both. I do that now, but I'd like to gain more employees that help me with that and can really help everybody focus on what they're wanting.
Well, we know the facts simply are that those homes that are staged and have interior design sells for more than those who don't.
Right, exactly.
It
sells for 50% more usually,
Yeah, so you're going to be providing that service as part of something that makes you unique,
right?
In your real estate sales practice.
Exactly, and just adding value. We were talking about a while ago. There's so many different realtors in the world, and there's a lot of good ones, of course, and there's some bad ones. But just how can you give value? How can you be different? And I think if you focus on that, if you're getting started, I think that's how you can be set aside from others.
Well, whether you're getting started, you've been in it for 20 years. Waking up every morning to say how I can give more value in the marketplace.
Right.
Always serves us well, right?
Sure, yeah.
Well, as we wrap up this episode, what would you like to share with the audience about success, building a legacy, being an independent business owner?
Well, I think I've pretty well said it 100 times this episode, but really, if you do focus on your goals and you do wake up every morning with motivation, dedication, it really makes a huge difference. I've got a lot of friends in the real estate world, or even small businesses that they own, and and nothing's wrong with sleeping in, but they sleep in till 10 because they don't have a schedule. They're their own boss, and it's like you have to be on a schedule. You really do. You can build your own schedule, but if you stray away from that, you're never going to have the success you want.
Yeah, there's freedom and discipline.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Lots of discipline.
There's freedom and discipline. Now, do you have a small group of like-minded folks that kind of help and support you, that you
absolutely
meet from time to time?
Sure,
and has that been critical to your success?
It absolutely has. That is I'm glad you brought that up, because that is something that also set me aside from others. I feel like in the beginning is, reaching out to people that have been in the business for years, and not even just other real estate agents, but, maybe foundation experts or, electricians or whatever it may be, to gain that understanding of what you're going to have to deal with and how to speak about it with your clients. And so, yeah, definitely, I'm still very good friends with some of the realtors that I met through JPAR, and staying in contact with them is so important.
Yeah. Well, you're an expert in the DFW Uptown area.
Absolutely.
A cool, hip area. We have a great office there.
We do. I live right across from it.
Yeah, it's a real neat area. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you for a referral or or to buy, sell, or invest in,
Sure.
in Dallas Uptown, how they get a hold of you?
So to me, the best way to get a hold of me is calling or texting. My number is 940-733-1743. I do prefer text only because a lot of times we are in, appointments and I can't just pick up the phone and answer it.
Right.
And we get a lot of random numbers as realtors, and not just from people wanting
Right.
to, do business with you. It's
Right.
from a lot of random stuff. So
Right.
yeah, texting is great. And of course, calling and leaving voicemails is awesome too.
Sure. I use a great tool called Umail that transcribes
Oh, really?
the voicemail, and it sends
Yeah.
you an email. It's all transcribed.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm
So
gonna have to look into that.
Check
That would
out
be
email.
helpful.
I love it. It
Okay.
helps me a lot. And you don't have to check the voicemails because it just transcribes them
Right.
and sends you the transcript, and you can call right from it.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. That's
Yeah.
time saver, right?
There's the productivity hack of the day.
Yeah.
Email.
You taught me something.
There we go. All right. Well, that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And
It was
congratulations.
fun.
Yeah, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year is the same way.
Yeah. Well, I know with you, it's not a hope.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you make things happen.
Thanks. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
There we go. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Success Superstars. And until we see you next time, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears.